a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. Desmond King making the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL
Here we
level.
go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Hut. Hut.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go. White 90. White 90. Hut.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. DeMarcus Walker in there to get him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90. Ohio. Ohio. Hut. Hut.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Ohio. Ohio.
They'll look to throw here. But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. On is the Chargers punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Leopard. 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 Watching that, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through. and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Come on, let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
He'll look to throw. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
Back to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
Now back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Leopard! Leopard!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Buying time to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And, look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Flex round!
Oh, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11.
What? 90! What? 90!
They'll set up a throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, 82 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's complete to Snead. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. A deep ball for Dotson. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Chargers on 3rd down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Gone, 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 gone.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Give him 30 yards there.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45.
3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And Davis with it left side. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here we go now with Smith. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Falcons will extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Yeah. Right, 58, right there. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On is the Chargers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying to lay one up deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 54 yards away. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Back to throw here. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And it's fielded at the 34. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. When I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Casey Hayward makes the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll drop the throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. The Falcons on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Let's go. Ryan 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Flex round.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And an alley to run. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On is the Chargers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 33. A A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
On play action, they'll throw. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
A 1st down carry for Smith. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Try to punch it in with Smith. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith with touchdown number 3 here in this game, and 17 now on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 48.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go. Boom, landed.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
To throw now on 2nd and 10. This is caught by Williams. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Tack McKinley in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Green 39! Green 39! Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll set up a throw. Brought in left side by Snead. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
They're going to look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. On is the Chargers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. He'll look to set up his blockers. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Now back to throw. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! What? 90!
They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
He'll drop to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Ohio! Ohio!
Back to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And on the left side here, Wilson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He'll look to throw. Oh, that is going to be a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Here we go. White, 90. White, 90. Flex round. Flex round.
They'll drop the throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Looking to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tech McKinley in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Everyone's got 4 down. Let's go. White, 90. White, 90.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Well, as always, partner,